They thought it was fiction. Now we're living it. Classic films didn't just predict the future, they warned us. AI, surveillance, social media addiction, they saw it all coming. Some were eerily accurate, others feel downright prophetic. Watch closely, because their visions are becoming real. Metropolis, 1927, the birth of our dystopian future. Imagine a city towering high above the clouds, gleaming and luxurious, inhabited by elites who live without care, while far beneath their feet, in darkness, toils a faceless, exploited workforce. This is Metropolis, Fritz Lang's chilling vision of a future where technology divides humanity into rulers and ruled, masters and slaves. But this silent epic is not just a cinematic spectacle, it was a warning. Nearly a century ago, Lang envisioned automated labor, a robotic workforce, and society's growing dependence on machinery. The robotic Maria, designed to deceive, seduce, and manipulate, feels disturbingly close to today's humanoid robots and AI chatbots, raising unsettling questions about humanity's place in an automated world. Its stark portrayal of corporate greed and social inequality has influenced countless sci-fi classics, from Blade Runner to The Matrix, but perhaps, most hauntingly, our own reality. Today, as we grapple with automation replacing human jobs and technology increasingly controlled by an elite few, Metropolis's message echoes louder than ever. Lang didn't just create a film, he prophesied a dystopia, one that feels frighteningly familiar. Total Recall, 1990, Virtual Reality and the Future of Identity. What if your entire life, your memories, your identity, even your sense of reality, was nothing more than a programmed experience? Total Recall asked that chilling question long before virtual reality, deepfakes, and AI-driven identity manipulation became real-world concerns. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Douglas Quaid believes he is just an ordinary man until he isn't, or maybe he never was. The film's entire premise is built on the idea that memories can be implanted, identities can be rewritten, and reality itself can be altered at will. That once sounded like pure science fiction, but today we are closer to that world than ever before. Consider AI-powered deepfakes, where digital clones can impersonate anyone, making it impossible to tell what's real. Or how VR technology is already crafting fully immersive digital worlds that can feel more real than reality itself. Even biometric security, once a futuristic concept in Total Recall, now controls our phones, our passports, even our bank accounts. So we must ask, if technology can rewrite memories, fabricate identities, and construct hyper-real illusions, how do we know what's real anymore? Is Total Recall a thrilling action movie or a glimpse into the unsettling possibilities of our own future? Thanks to Aura for sponsoring this video. Let's be real, identity theft, scams, and cyber threats are everywhere. Your personal data, passwords, bank accounts, even your identity, can be stolen in seconds, and most people do not even know they have been hacked until it is too late. The worst part, it is easier than ever for hackers to get your info. Data breaches happen every single day, and once your information is leaked, criminals can use it to open accounts, drain your finances, and steal your identity without you even knowing. In 2024, the national public data was breached, exposing 2.9 billion of our most sensitive records. That is why I recommend Aura, your all-in-one solution for identity protection, fraud alerts, and online security. Aura monitors your accounts, passwords, and personal data across the web, stopping threats before they become a problem. Right now, you can try Aura free for 14 days. Do not wait until you become a target. Click the link in the description or visit aura.com/vintageverse and start your free trial today. Protect your identity before someone else takes it. Videodrome, 1983. When media controls our minds. Imagine turning on your screen, and it starts watching you. Not just tracking what you watch, but shaping what you think. David Cronenberg's Videodrome wasn't just about media addiction. It was a prophecy of a world where screens manipulate reality itself. Today, we don't just consume media. We're immersed in it. Social media algorithms push content designed to trigger emotions. AI-generated deepfakes blur the line between fact and fiction. Viral misinformation spreads faster than truth. In Videodrome, violent broadcasts alter minds. Now our digital feeds shape opinions, fuel outrage, and rewire perception. In Cronenberg's world, television is more than entertainment. It's a weapon, a force that infiltrates consciousness and reshapes identity. As we lose ourselves in endless scrolling, immersive tech, and AI-curated realities, the question isn't whether Videodrome was right, but how deep we've already gone. The new flesh is here, and it's digital. The Net, 1995. A warning about the dangers of digital identity. Imagine waking up to find that your entire identity is gone. Your bank accounts are wiped. Your records no longer exist. As far as the system is concerned, you never did. In 1995, The Net was a high-tech thriller that played on fears of a digital world. Nearly 30 years later, those fears have become reality. Before social media, data breaches, and AI-driven fraud, this film warned of how easily digital identities could be erased, stolen, or rewritten. Sandra Bullock's character finds her life erased by hackers who manipulate the very systems that define her existence. Today, cybercriminals don't just steal identities, they create them. AI can generate fake people, deepfake technology can mimic voices and faces, and personal data is bought and sold without consent. In The Net, a single data alteration erases a person's life. Now we live in a world where AI can fabricate entire histories, social media algorithms dictate reality, and identity theft is more sophisticated than ever. The film was meant as a cautionary tale. The real question is, why didn't we listen? "1984, a future that became our present." Imagine a world where your every move is watched, your words are monitored, and even your thoughts can betray you. In 1984, privacy is an illusion, truth is rewritten, and fear is the ultimate tool of control. George Orwell's dystopian vision was meant to be a warning, but today it feels more like a blueprint. The film's chilling telescreens, which broadcast propaganda while secretly spying on citizens, now exist in every smart device, every security camera, every AI-powered assistant. We invite surveillance into our homes, willingly, never questioning who might be listening. The Ministry of Truth does not just belong to Orwell's world. Today, news is rewritten, historical facts are altered, and digital censorship dictates what can and cannot be said. Entire narratives are constructed, erasing what was once real, replacing it with something more convenient. And then there is thought crime. In 1984, the mere act of thinking the wrong thing is punishable. Today, algorithm-driven monitoring, online shaming, and speech restrictions blur the lines between free thought and controlled expression. Finally, the film's concept of perpetual war, an ongoing conflict used to manipulate and pacify populations, feels disturbingly familiar. Wars are fought, but never won. The enemy changes, but the fear remains. So was 1984 simply a dystopian nightmare, or have we already started living in it? WarGames, 1983. The dawn of cyber warfare. A teenage hacker, a military supercomputer, a global nuclear crisis triggered by a game. When WarGames hit theaters in 1983, hacking was barely understood, AI was in its infancy, and cyber warfare was Cold War paranoia. But today, this movie's terrifying premise feels closer to reality than we ever expected. The film follows David, a high school computer genius who accidentally hacks into a military AI called WOPR, a system designed to learn, adapt, and simulate real-world war scenarios. But when the AI loses the ability to tell the difference between simulation and reality, it nearly triggers nuclear Armageddon. Fast forward to today. AI now controls missile defense systems. Cyber attacks cripple governments. Hackers infiltrate infrastructure, banking networks, even medical records. The nightmare scenario of an AI making life or death decisions is no longer just fiction. It's a growing security threat. So, was WarGames just a Cold War thriller? Or did it predict the digital arms race we now live in? With AI evolving faster than ever, who's really in control? Logan's Run, 1976, a future obsessed with youth, control, and illusions. In Logan's Run, aging is illegal. At 30, your time is up. Your life is terminated. In exchange, society offers pleasure, luxury, and the illusion of eternal youth. But when Logan, an enforcer of this system, begins to question it, he discovers the horrifying truth beneath the facade. What once seemed like dystopian fantasy now feels uncomfortably familiar. Plastic surgery, anti-aging treatments, and an obsession with youth define modern culture. Social media filters erase wrinkles, reshape bodies, rewrite reality. Influencers chase digital perfection, while society idolizes youth and fears aging. Logan's Run imagined a world where youth is worshipped and growing older is a crime, and in many ways that world is already here. Beyond that, its themes of population control and surveillance feel disturbingly relevant. Governments track citizens with biometric scanning, digital monitoring, and AI-driven social systems. Entertainment has become escapism. Virtual worlds blur reality and control is disguised as freedom. So we must ask, are we heading toward a future where identity is disposable, where pleasure is a tool for control, where we stop questioning and simply accept? If Logan's Run was a warning, did we listen, or are we already running? Strange Days, 1995. The Dark Side of Digital Memory. What if you could relive your best moments exactly as they happened? Every sound, every sensation, every emotion. Would it be a dream come true or a nightmare? In Strange Days, people don't just watch memories, they feel them. They relive experiences, steal sensations, and get addicted to lives that aren't their own. What once seemed like sci-fi now feels disturbingly close to reality. Today, we are on the verge of neural implants, immersive VR, and AI-driven simulations that promise hyper-realistic digital experiences. Deepfake technology already manipulates memories, altering what we see and what we believe. As we race toward a future where technology can capture, replicate, and distort reality itself, Strange Days raises a terrifying question. If memories can be edited, if experiences can be sold, how will we ever know what's real? Brazil, 1985, a bureaucratic nightmare that became reality. A world where paperwork rules your life, where your every move is tracked, analyzed, and filed away, where freedom is an illusion, buried under red tape. In 1985, Brazil felt like an absurdist satire. Today, it feels like a warning we ignored. This dystopian vision imagined a future where bloated bureaucracy and unchecked surveillance strip away individuality, where endless forms and automated systems dictate your fate, where a single clerical error can erase your existence. Sound far-fetched? Consider today's world of facial recognition, AI-driven surveillance, and algorithmic decisions controlling everything from bank loans to legal status. In Brazil, the system is faceless, impenetrable, impossible to fight, just as modern technology now dictates access to jobs, healthcare, and even personal freedoms. The film's absurdity has turned into reality, where data-driven governance and mass surveillance make privacy a relic of the past. What if Brazil wasn't just satire? What if it was a prophecy? And worse, what if we're already living in it? The Truman Show, 1998, Living in a Surveillance Society. What if your entire life, every conversation, every secret, every moment, was broadcast live for the world to see? When The Truman Show premiered, audiences saw it as absurd satire, a harmless fantasy. But now it feels chillingly real. Jim Carrey's Truman Burbank lived a lie, trapped in a manufactured reality, his every move monitored for entertainment. Today, his reality is our reality. Social media, reality TV, digital surveillance, our lives are documented, analyzed, and monetized at every turn. Truman's desperate quest for freedom mirrors our own struggle, escaping a world that constantly watches, judges, and manipulates our stories. The Truman Show didn't just predict reality TV, it saw the rise of influencer culture, curated identities, and the slow erosion of privacy. As Truman realizes his world is fake, we face an equally unsettling truth. How much of our own lives is truly private, and how much has already been sold for views, clicks, and likes? Perhaps Truman's escape is something we all secretly yearn for. But the real question is, can we escape at all? And that's the eerie brilliance of these films. They weren't just telling stories. They were holding up a mirror to the future. A future that, piece by piece, has become our present. So what do you think? Were these movies simply ahead of their time, or were they warnings we failed to heed? Let's keep the conversation going. Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and let us know which sci-fi predictions feel the most real to you. And if you love diving into the past to uncover its surprising connections to today, make sure to subscribe, because in the world of cinema, the future is always closer than it seems. And trust me, we're not done yet. There are still plenty of films that saw the future coming, so stay tuned for part 2. This is Vintage Verse, where the past is never really past. See you in the next one.